What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. This is going to be a good one, so stay tuned. Let's get right into this.
If you thought all of this stuff going on with Diddy is bad, there's people coming out saying that Jay-Z is no better. In fact, 50 Cent is basically saying this is a lot worse than we think. He recently posted this picture saying that Jay-Z is in hibernation till all of this Diddy stuff blows over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. And there's a lot of dark conspiracies about Jay-Z. I mean, we have the incident with Tory Lanez.
I'm telling you, this court system is not for justice. It's about wins and losses, and they do dirty to do whatever they can. Jay-Z, let me speak to you because my son refused to sign a Roc Nation deal with you.
The conspiracies about Kathy White and what happened to her. The conspiracies with Aaliyah.
Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
And never forget when he wore this sweatshirt that says, "Do what thou wilt," which is literally a satanic mandate. If you thought all of this stuff...
To be honest, I believe a lot of these, people in the industry do a lot of wicked stuff, so I want to deny it. He's probably up next, I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't I just tell y'all that there was something going on with the ocean and it's the whale who's trying to tell us something? Listen.
Approaching the Mahia coastline. This local watching from the top of the hill.
We thought, this is odd, this isn't normal.
Fascination quickly turning to concern.
You're gonna get beached, mate.
The 45-odd false killer whales and one bottlenose dolphin first stranded before 2 p.m. yesterday at the rocky beach in Taylor's Bay.
They were screaming. It is probably the thing that's stopping me from sleeping because you can hear this screaming in your ears. They were making more than a noise. They were really yelling out for help.
I told you.
Strandings aren't uncommon for this species. It's extremely rare.
With the tragic events that unfolded, there's got to be something in the haystack to look for that is a bit of positivity, and we hope to learn a lot more.
Like why these creatures stranded in the first place.
I put up the video about the whales in the ocean, and I told you I was trying to tell us something. In the last other video I dropped about the ocean, I told y'all. Oh my God! Didn't I?
You don't know.
Let me show y'all why I'm so excited about this footage.
Inside what seems like an ordinary tunnel, something incomprehensible happens that none of them have ever seen before.
It's as if the tunnel has come alive and it's breathing.
The tunnel seems to move as a cloud, repeatedly and very suddenly, appearing and disappearing. Workers who witness it are terrified, including Juan Antonio Sanchez.
La tierra empezó a rugir como de un león. Eso produce mucho temor porque en cualquier momento uno creía que el túnel se podía derrumbar o que podía... Temimos mucho por nuestras vidas.
So I know a lot of y'all seen that second clip because it was aired on TV, but in this clip you can see the cardboard moving, you can see the paper moving, and it looks fairly real. But it's up to us to believe it or not. But tell me what you guys think, man. It's funny, but it's true. Like, share, and comment with a friend because I'm pretty sure TikTok gonna take it off the For You page. This video is for entertainment.
That is interesting, though. I don't know if that's real or not. It's fake.
We need to eat from Earth. Eat more green things. Eat more colorful things organically grown from Mother Nature. And we need to ground out. Your shoes and your clothes are killing you. Half the stuff we wearing got polyester in it, which is going to mess up your electrical magnetic frequency and bring down your hertz. The more your hertz go down, the more you're prone to so-called diseases. So make sure that you're wearing as much cotton as possible, especially when you come up towards your heart. Another thing is your shoes. You supposed to have your shoes on.
Do y'all notice that though? Like I know people don't get sick like that, but when you do get sick, it don't last that long. Like when you vibrate on, do y'all notice that? Like you get sick for like a couple days and then it's going quick. It's like like your vibration is high.
when you walking on concrete. Other than that, keep your shoes off as much as possible, because that's the way we ground out and get a lot of the protons inside of our body to get rid of a lot of the protons and bring in more electrons. Electrons is the feminine side of nature. That's the nature side of chemistry. It's a negative charge, but it has a way of taking these things from a catabolic state to anabolic state. And from a cation to the anion just means from acidic to alkaline. And you get that just by taking your shoes off. Go hug a tree. It's something called nature deficiency order, where you stay away from nature too long and you will get depressed and you actually get sick. And they took some orphans that was going through these psychological depression changes. They took them to nature for 2 weeks and they didn't have the suicidal thoughts no more. They regained their consciousness. They had purpose. Their imagination came back. They was loving on each other again. So that's one. We need to eat from earth. Eat more green things. Eat more.
You know what's crazy? A lot of people don't be outside and like sitting in the grass. A lot of people don't do that. You know, they just get up, get in the car, go to work, and can repeat the same process every day.
Because we are all connected on this ether, and that waveform that's the consciousness. We are all just one great being.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they forget. We're not separate. The universe is probably one cell inside of some super organism,
right?
And we're just little who, you know, little who's like Horton hears a who and trying to make sense of it. And it's a beautiful thing that we're making sense of it, but everything is just one great being. We're all God. That's what Jesus was talking about. That's what you know, Buddha was talking about. It's recognizing the divinity in you, because we are all connected on this ether, and that way.
This is really cool seeing this happen right now. Us one flow, right? That's crazy.
Mysterious videos that can't be explained. So almost everybody has heard of or seen the Men in Black movies. They follow government agents whose jobs are to keep people quiet after they encounter aliens. However, there may be proof that there are real-life Men in Black. In 2009, a few guests staying at a hotel in the United States encountered these weird lights in the night sky. They weren't really sure what it was that they saw, but they took this picture. And then just 2 days after the guests had left the hotel, 2 mysterious men dressed in all black came to the hotel asking about those people. The security camera shows 2 tall men dressed in all black walking directly to the receptionist at the hotel. The receptionist went on record saying that the 2 men had no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and were extremely pale. And they were only asking questions about the guests who had seen the lights. Many people believe that these 2 men were the real-life Men in Black. Mysterious videos
is this little tiny pea-shaped object deep inside the brain. So a lot of people represent it up here as the third eye, but in true reality, it's not in the front. It's way deep in the center of the brain. It's been known since deep antiquity, super ancient times, so that this thing was an eye. In other words, it has photoreceptors. They knew that this thing had the capability of receiving photons and light waves and then channeling it throughout the body. Also, the third eye, it has these hairs on it, which are like receiving antennas, because it's your spiritual antenna. It's your connection to the higher dimensions that exist. We know that this universe has 11 dimensions based on string theory. They just discovered that the human mind can exist and perceive up to 11 dimensions, the same amount as the universe. Our mind is a fractal of the whole, and this is peer-reviewed quantum physics. Also made of crystals. There's crystal in there, and crystals have an amazing power. When you put pressure on a crystal, it releases energy. When you put the pressure of the spinal fluid on the pineal gland, it sparks. When it sparks, it releases DMT. You can create the same experience as taking ayahuasca. You can have your own DMT. You don't have to take it from a plant and have somebody out in the jungle somewhere. You don't even know if they're going to take advantage of you, because it's happened to a lot of people. You can do it in the privacy of your own home with a guided meditation, and you can trigger the same exact response. It allows you to reach higher levels of dimensions and consciousness. When you tap into understanding how the third eye works, you're closer to real-time information, because scientists discovered that there's a 7 to 8 second delay in between the time that something happens and the time that we realize it happens. Everything that we see going on around us is 7 to 8 seconds delayed, unless you're moving from the third eye, the pineal gland. When you tap into that, your intuition skyrockets, and intuition turns you into a surfer versus a person that's standing in the ocean waiting for the wave to crash over them. It's this little tiny
Strangest last meals ever requested. Victor Foiger. An unpitted Olive.
Really, dude?
James Edward Smith.
If it's my last day, I'm sorry, but if it's my last day, man, I'm gonna need a buffet of food. I'm talking fried chicken, watermelon, all of it. Alfredo chicken, chicken Alfredo, pizza, cake, ice cream. I'm gonna need it all. I'm just being real. You about to kill me, I'm about to ask for everything. Fries, burgers, everything.
However, that was denied, so he settled for yogurt. Timothy McVeigh. 2 scoops of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Gerald Lee Mitchell. Peter J. Mignol. 20 beef tacos and 20 beef enchiladas.
Sound like me.
2 double cheeseburgers.
Sound just like me.
Pizza and fried chicken. But there is more. Spaghetti, fruitcake, half a chocolate cake, and half a vanilla cake. Cookies and cream.
That's what I'm talking about.
Caramel pecan fudge ice cream. 2
That's what I'm talking about.
2 Pepsis. 2 root beers and 2 glasses of orange juice. The largest meal ever served on Roe history. Now inmates only get $40 worth of food. Strangest last meals ever requested.
That would be something like I would get to.
So I have been listening to Terrence Howard, who is an engineer, by the way, talk about this ancient mysterious symbol called the Flower of Life. He talks about the discovery of this symbol and what the symbol actually means. He talks about how ancient philosophers have been looking at this symbol, trying to figure out what it means, but they have been looking at it on a depth that is flat instead of something that has multiple dimensions. In layman terms, people in the past had not been looking at the shape correctly, and he actually found out that what is in between is something called a wave particle. People who have been said to study this ancient symbol are people like Da Vinci, Isaac Newton, even Pythagoras, who came up with the Pythagorean theorem, but they all got the information for the symbol incorrect. What really blew my mind is when he mentioned that CERN, something that I have literally been obsessed with for I don't know how long, a scientific research center that has a particle hadron collider, have been looking for this wave pattern or this wave particle that he is actually speaking about. In my mind, I honestly think he just explained time travel in the most simplest way possible. What it sounds like to me is he's speaking about the ability to time travel, and I'm going to show you exactly why I think this. Besides that, I also think that each philosopher that actually studied this geometrical shape is someone that we know because of the shape. But I also think Nikola Tesla developed his rule for 3, 6, and 9 because of this shape, and this is why he was so successful and came up with these inventions that he did, and I'm going to show you why. First, I'm going to show you what each philosopher's idea of the flower of life was. And if you recognize this drawing, this is Leonardo da Vinci's form of the flower of life. As you can see, I don't know about anybody else, I wasn't aware that this drawing, that is really one of his most famous drawings, is actually him using the different circles that are in the flower of life. And if you know anything about Leonardo da Vinci, he's going to put a secret in something. Now, the drawings that you see, not the actual pictures that are correlated together, but the sketches are from Pythagorean, which created the Pythagorean theorem, who was a Greek philosopher who believed in so many things that would be not considered scientific today. Is insane. Nevertheless, if you see that his theory aligns with the Great Pyramids as well, which he didn't even know about then. So let's keep going but just remember this. And for reference, this is what the flower of life is said to have looked like when it was discovered in a temple in Egypt, which I'm going to talk about next because the way that it was discovered doesn't make sense for the time period that it would have been created in. The flower of life contains 19 overlapping circles, and it also is composed of 61 total circles. It is said that some of these spaces come up to 3 different spaces in between each one. And if you know anything about Nikola Tesla, he only operated in 3, 6, and 9. He said that if you had the numbers 3, 6, and 9, you could unlock secrets of the universe. I am telling you, this is time travel. If you look below, this is where it was discovered. The flower of life was discovered molecularly burned into the side of a temple that was literally submerged under another temple. When it first came out that the flower of life was being studied and that it was molecularly burned into the side of a temple in Egypt, which is preposterous in itself, they tried to recant and say that it was paint that survived being under another temple and also that was eroded with sand and everything else. Don't believe it. Not only did they find that symbol, they also found Greek writing that was overlapped with the symbol. And the actual temple in Abydos, Egypt, that this was found up under, they have no idea what it is or what it's for. They also have no clue how they got these massive stones that are in this temple all the way to where they were. Not to mention that this symbol is also found in the Forbidden City in China, next to an inscription that says if you figure out this symbol, you have the secrets of the universe. You know why no one can figure out the Great Pyramids and how they were built? It's because they were using time travel. Because how do you explain Greek writing in Egypt? And the stones that were used to build the Great Pyramid are similar to the stones that were used where this symbol was found in that temple. And these two places are 7 hours apart modern day, which is about 75 kilometers. And if you know anything about this massive particle hadron collider at CERN, they are literally studying this wave particle along with dark matter. And they just came out and said they actually did a particle acceleration, which is quote unquote scientific terms for we time traveled. Do you know why this symbol is found everywhere? Because it's a symbol that they used in the past for time travel to get back from place to place and to move large, humongous objects. I've always believed that we are just a part of the same civilization that repeats itself over and over and over and over again. And this flower of life points in the direction of us having time travel since before it was even thought of. I am definitely going to do a part 2.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Newton, as well as Tesla, who I believed had the secrets of this and the things that they created are not really talked about. But you can find every idea that they had on astrology and even space and time themselves, because in no way, shape, or form should we have blown past the flower of life until now. And the flower of life has always been worshipped or used in mostly religion. And if you know anything about divine infinity and time travel and things about space and time, it all comes down to worship. Because we as humans, when we don't understand something, but it takes us to the next level, we tend to idolize or worship it. This is why I think that people did not think of the idea that it could possibly be a symbol for time travel.
Yeah, she got a point though. Honestly, you know, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, right?
I have a strange feeling that this hurricane season is going to be one of the worst we ever had, maybe since 2005. I'm not saying it's going to be on the same level as Katrina, but it might be close. There are so many states that's underwater or damn near underwater right now. It's been so many stories speaking about LA going underwater, New York going underwater. This hurricane season is going to be really different. Once these people start making these machines that can control storms, natural weather don't exist no more. That's why these hurricanes is going to be way more extreme, because it's no longer natural. Just think about it for a minute. If they can make fake clouds, what else can they do? Don't forget the world ended before by the floods. I really believe that people that made these technologies that can control the weather, I think they're trying to create a Noah's Ark all over again. They've been using these machines to make tornadoes, hurricanes, even earthquakes. They even have technology where they can shoot lasers from space. These people can really do whatever they want to do. 2024, this will be the year where major cities that's really important, they're going to be underwater. I have a strange feeling that this hurricane season is going to be...
Honestly, he might just be right. Because they are trying anything to make sure they stay on this planet now. So I don't deny that at all.
Guys, this company Waymo, they're telling you that look at this, you guys. This company Waymo, they're telling you that the future is now because they just dropped the first fully self-autonomous driving car. They are driving it in California right now, and they're going to be revealing it to the public at a later date. This car is not like the Tesla. It literally drives itself, y'all. Check this out.
So much emerging technology is just a show, so one can be forgiven for not being able to distinguish fact from fiction. Take this car, for example. Can it drive autonomously or not?
The short answer is absolutely.
That junk getting it. Y'all see that man with the smoke?
Vistava, senior product lead for driving behavior at Waymo.
That's
what
crazy.
you're looking at is the Waymo driver in action. Adapted for a variety of vehicle platforms, it is the most advanced, fully autonomous driving technology in the world today.
What you notice pretty quickly is that these aren't normal vehicles. Take this Jaguar I-Pace, for example. It's been equipped with an elegant array of sensors and software, which allows it to move through the city on its own.
That's correct. The Waymo driver is a combination of custom-designed hardware and software that is responsible for performing the entire act of driving.
That was James Philbin. He's an engineering lead on the perception team at Waymo. I asked him to break down the technology for us a bit more.
The Waymo driver handles the task of driving in 3 basic steps: sense, solve, and go. It's the way we describe the highly complex process of acquiring information, processing it, and moving through the world safely.
So, what goes into all that sensing?
The sensors that the Waymo driver uses are incredibly powerful, using a combination of LiDAR, cameras, and radar. It can see up to 3 football fields in any direction and can detect sirens from emergency vehicles, which allows the Waymo driver to visualize the world around it in milliseconds.
What is this, Transformers?
Okay, sense makes sense. But what do you do with all that data?
Good question. The system calculates the predicted future behavior for each relevant agent in the scene. Then, with a strong foundation derived from artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, the Waymo driver crunches all that data and calculates a safe route, while responding in real time to the evolving traffic environment.
If I understand correctly, this means the Waymo driver continues to learn as it goes, is trained and tested on scenarios that it's never seen before, and can differentiate safe and comfortable driving behaviors from hazardous and uncomfortable ones.
Yes, well done.
Why, thank you. The final step in the Sense, Solve, Go methodology is perhaps the most straightforward. Go.
Once the Waymo driver has determined the path to take, our advanced motion control systems allow for smooth acceleration and braking on hilly streets, or managing bumper-to-bumper traffic with safe and natural driving movements.
So it's really here, right now in cities. Not smoke and mirrors, but true autonomous driving technology. Waymo is taking what was once futuristic sci-fi and making it non-fiction. And like all great technology, all that number crunching, all that data just fades into the background. And you realize the dream of riding in a fully autonomous vehicle to your favorite dinner spot isn't just a vision of the future. It's actually happening right now.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this thing is a beast. I trust this thing a lot more than Tesla, only because it's got so much technology just everywhere, all over the car. And I feel like with Tesla, you really gotta look for the technology. You gotta look for the cameras and all that. But this is literally in your face, telling you that it's literally a self-driving car. Yeah, this looks way more better than Tesla. Way more better than Tesla. Just because I trust this a lot more than Tesla doesn't mean I'm going to be getting in it. I'm perfectly capable of driving myself. Thank you very much. But I guess this is helpful for people who can't drive, you know, for the elderly, for the young, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it's great news in that sense. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I'm only raising awareness to interesting situations.
Yeah, that is crazy though. This is what they got going on. Cool though. There's definitely could be something hopeful.
The world ended a long time ago, but people are so programmed with Hollywood movies, they're waiting for fireballs to fall from the sky so the world to end. The world don't end like that. Once people start thinking for themselves, the world ended. It's not about fireballs, meteors, asteroids hitting this planet, destroying everything. The world don't end that way. It ends with our consciousness. It starts with our consciousness. If they could change this, they could change the whole reality. And as you can see, they changed the whole reality because people don't think no more. We have religion people sitting around waiting for the rapture to take place. Christ is not coming back. We had spiritual people waiting for the mothership to come and get them, take them to another planet so they can start all over. The mothership not coming back. There will be no rapture. There will be no mothership. It's only you. And if you can't save yourself, no one can save you. Jesus can't come back and save you for the sins you made. UFOs can't come and save you from a planet you destroyed. Like I said, Hollywood did a hell of a job programming us mentally because they know this is a mental universe. If they could change the way we think, they can restructure and change this whole reality. And as you can see, they changed the whole reality. Did you know the Matrix only exists in big ass cities? That's why it's always crowded, always violence, always hate crimes. It's because it's the Matrix. The only way you can escape the Matrix is leave these big ass cities and go back to nature. It's 2024, another election year. People are still voting. They say, well, we need change, but change never took place. Then they say both presidents are evil, but we got to pick a lesser evil. You got to pick a lesser evil. So if you pick a lesser evil, that means you're evil because you selected them, right or wrong. If you really want to get out of the Matrix and be stress-free, check out both of my ebooks. It's a bunch.
He is right, though. It's really all on you, all on us, like the people. Once we wake up, then this world ends. It's on us.
The entire length of Africa, making him the very first person in history to do this. When Russ Cook felt like he reached the lowest point in his life, he decided to do something wild. Run from the bottom of South Africa all the way to a destination over 10,000 miles to the north in only 240 days. That would have been 360 marathons in a row. But along the way, Russ faced some challenges that slowed him down. He was robbed at gunpoint. He was even kidnapped in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Despite facing challenges like bribing police chiefs and adjusting his route due to political issues, Russ remained focused on his goal. He has been crossing 16 countries and runs a marathon's distance every day, sometimes even covering the equivalent of 2 marathons in a single day. Despite enduring sandstorms in the Sahara Desert and sweltering 103-degree weather, Russ has finally crossed the finish line. He also raised an impressive $965,000 for various charities during his run. This man just ran the entire length of Africa.
Ain't no way. Yeah, he took time to, I know he took time. There's no way he ain't take no breaks, because I know I would.
I've been hearing a few people complain about how their food has been feeling and tasting strange recently. There's even a video floating around where you can see food bursting open, some food sparking or having a chemical reaction while being stirred, and something I've even personally experienced, fruits having a sort of Play-Doh or rubbery texture.
Yeah.
Now, in general, the consensus regarding food has been on a steady decline in the last couple of years. I've been hearing from people claiming that their food has not been tasting as good as it once did, or even has a metallic taste to it. But now people are coming up with multiple theories about what's actually going on behind the scenes of our food companies. The first theory states that a lot more of our fruits and meats are lab grown than we're made to believe. What's interesting about this theory is that we've actually heard about lab grown meat for quite some time, but lab grown fruit is quite new. According to scientists, their goal is to grow fruit without any trees, vines, or bushes. But what if they're further along than we're made to believe and they're already selling lab grown fruit in stores? The second theory states that specifically in the US, there's so many preservatives and additives in the food that we're most likely eating more chemicals than the actual food item itself. And with most of these chemicals being banned overseas, maybe some of these are the reason for the rubbery feeling and the strange taste that we get in our food. I've been hearing a few people complain
That's exactly
about how
what it is, honestly.
I gotta pace myself.
Have you ever felt someone staring at you from across the room and you look up and sure enough someone is staring at you? Well, I just read about why that actually happens. I read an article about this girl who said she studied the principles in this old book from 1924 and she manifested winning $200,000. So naturally I bought the book because I wanted to know how she did it. And I got way more than I bargained for. This is the book, Scientific Healing Affirmations. It was written by an Indian monk and yogi named Paramahansa Yogananda. And the book strives to explain how everything is energy. He says the vibration of consciousness is so subtle that it cannot be detected by instruments. Consciousness can detect consciousness, which explains why we can feel when someone's looking at us. It also explains how psychics or mediums can potentially pick up on energy left from someone who lived in a particular room. But if you're trying to manifest something into your life, there are specific details on how to do it. This is what he says to do. First, do it immediately after you wake up or right before you go to bed. As you repeat the affirmation, first you do it loudly, and then you do it quieter and more slowly until you're just doing it mentally and not moving your lips at all. You do it until you feel an increased sense of joy and calm. This is the state that you need for your subconscious to accept the affirmation as true. You want to be sitting facing north or east, and you want to concentrate on this space right between your eyes. You want to keep your spine erect and your chest high, and you want to remain motionless as you do this. It's important to note to go into this knowing that all physical states are changeable. And this is the affirmation that you want to repeat to yourself. You can pause it here to read this or write it down. There are other affirmations in this book for other things, but I will be doing this specific one every single day, and I will. Have you ever felt someone staring at you from?
I don't think you gotta do all that to manifest. Honestly, I don't. But some good strategies, I think, to onto something.
Diet is directly affected to our spirituality and how we feel, our vibrations, our frequency, our energy. And if you want to improve your well-being, whether it's mentally, you want to fight depression, the energy that we consume, whether it is TV or social media or even what we put into our bodies directly, affect us. But our energy also affects everything in our lives, our finances, the people around us, our family. And so therefore it's a total human experience. It's the spiritual, it's the mental. It has everything to do with your pineal gland when you're consuming electric foods, pure, straight from the tree without pesticides and GMOs, as natural as possible. Just getting to nature, which is very hard in this day and age. Getting back to maybe how we used to live outside of a manufactured life, even the pollution, the air. Getting back to the purest form of self and what we used to consume and what the human body has been built for is where we should be going to improve the vibration of this entire earth, to think clearly, to treat each other better, and to do better. And it starts with diet and assessment of self, but also just being aware of all of the things that are out here harming us and how we harm each other. Diet is directly affected to.
It's crazy though. Like, this is really a mental plane of existence. It's all mental for real. If you can mentally get through it, hey, you're good. If you mentally strong down here, man, you might have a good time.
The red car theory. Have you heard about that before?
Never heard it.
Okay, so have you seen any red cars today on the way here?
I probably did, but no.
Probably, yeah. Right. Now, if you were leaving your house and before you got on the road, I would have told you, for every red car you notice, I will give you $50. Would you know how many red cars you've seen on the way?
I'll look for red cars.
Exactly. That's how luck works, and that's how the opportunities work. When you go through life and you're not looking and you're not aware, they're just passing by and you don't even notice. So anything it can turn into opportunity, but you have to be aware and you have to keep looking. The red car theory. Have you heard about that before?
No.
Welcome to Translatable. I'm Dwayne Wade.
And I'm Zaya Wade. And welcome to Translatable. Translatable aims to serve as a community safe space for youth to express themselves through a number of creative outlets. Here at Translatable, we focus on communities of color, center the most marginalized, and emphasize the importance of parents and family.
Translatable is also a resource hub for parents, families, and support system of the LGBTQIA+ youth. For our family, we were blessed to have a community of supporters and knowledgeable experts who could swiftly arm us with the tools we needed to support Zaya in her journey. We recognize the lack of digestible and relatable information available to youth and families, especially communities of color. And to this day, we are still learning. I'm so very proud of the daughter that I've had the opportunity to raise. She has been my biggest educator and inspiration of what it means to be true to you. That's why it's so important to create a collaborative space for the community to participate in the conversation and express themselves freely.
No, that sounds fun. Over the next few months, we'll be rolling out content, resource guides, and interactive features where we can hear from you.
We want to emphasize that the learning never stops. You can expect to see ever evolving content and resources to keep you up to date on Translatable.
So make sure to sign up for email updates. We're just getting started.
All right, first of all,
nah, this is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's their life, you know, but this is like, they really pushing us. Like, man, they want everybody like this. Like, I don't get it.
Let me just say this to you, right? This is actually death.
I agree.
And the first thing that I want to point out is this, is that they put emphasis on the black community when it comes to this. And I told you, whenever they want to introduce anything to us, they have to get us to accept it first. More importantly, the so-called black woman, they have to get her to accept it first. And who is supposedly, I'm not calling this a girl. This is Dwayne Wade's son. Who is this person's biggest supporter? Huh? Gabrielle Union? If I'm not mistaken? Huh? This shit is sickening. This is death. So they put the emphasis on so-called black community, which we ain't never going to accept this bull crap. This is a sacrifice of their child for money.
Indeed. For money.
Fame and fortune of this world. And those that have done this to the youth of our own species, they will be the biggest examples for us. Remember that. They will be the biggest examples. Now, let me also point you to the light. I want to also point you to the light with this. As much as I tell y'all that the sun is changing and things are taking place on the planet, and this is happening to the entire solar system, and this planet is being worked on 24 hours, 7 days a week, Gregorian calendar time. And universal time. It is whatever you want to call it. It is constantly being worked on. Now, by me looking at the emphasis that they are pushing when it comes to transgender period, youth, this period in the so-called black community, it tells me clearly that we are at the end of this darkness coming into the pure light. And this entity,
we are getting closer, y'all. So they trying anything. And you're like, come on, Dwayne Wade, really? Ain't he from Chicago? That's crazy, man. That is crazy. For the money, he did this for the money. That's sad. Sacrifice. That is definitely a sacrifice.
Want to have us in such an embarrassing state that our own brothers and sisters would not even want to come into and even have a conversation with you. Would just want to sweep the planet completely clean. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So no matter how much they pump this right here, our people are not going to accept this as a whole. A broken clock tells the right time twice a day. We are a broken clock. So this may happen twice out of 10 people, out of 10 males. But this ain't happening no more. This is coming to a complete, not out of 10, out of 100. 2 out of 100 males. This is coming to a complete end. So this is how I know. Because if you go back in history, more importantly, go back to Rome when Rome fell. All of this shit was going on. Transgender, homosexuality, child molestation, all of it. It was brutal. It was real brutal. Sex all in the street with animals, dogs, it didn't make a difference. However, when it started to be pushed onto the children, when it was starting to be pushed to the children, hormone blockers, you know what I'm saying, influence through education system, through foods and vaccines. Yes, increasing estrogen in males, increasing protein, testosterone in women. Women are growing beards now. Yes, this is happening, and we are at the end. And how I know is because when it was the pump, the attack on children, and everybody, all the grown children, aka adults, turned a deaf ear and a blind eye to it, to accept worldly possessions in place of our star seeds, of our children.
Yeah.
So this is how I know. Be prepared, my people. And if you have to get,
not even giving them a chance. Not even giving them a chance. Child abuse. This is bad. I agree. This is all for entertainment. YouTube. You take nothing I said or anything that was said. It's literally. This is all entertainment.
Prepared, then you're not prepared. This is a clear sign. So I see it clear as day. To pump this to our community, to our children, as we turn a deaf ear and a blind eye for fame, fortune, and all other materialistic things that means absolutely nothing. This is a sacrifice.
Indeed.
And it's clear as day right in front of our face. These scripts, both of them are reading off of a script.
Yeah, you could tell.
It is really
look at them.
It is really disheartening as a so-called black man to watch this man be so proudly to support this type of death to his own son. And they said that they put this all in the Bible. How many of them had to sacrifice how many of them was willing to sacrifice their own son for God? You would never have to sacrifice yourself for the universe. But how many of them in the Bible was willing to sacrifice their only son for God? Huh? Even Jesus was sacrificed. For God. Understand that. Abundance and gratitude to you all.
Yeah, this is sad, man. Honestly. All right, y'all. With that being said, we have made it to the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You already know we're gonna keep these videos coming each and every day. Sending peace, abundance, prosperity, and good healthy way. Please be sure to take care of yourself. All right. And the weather is nice. Get outside. You know, it's not raining when you at. You know, the sun is beaming. Get out there in nature, man. For real. But with all that being said, I will be seeing you guys in the next upload. Peace.